I'm going to be right there in front of him like I always do. You know, I'm going to make him miss, I make him pay, and I'm going to fight my fight. So I feel like that was...
It's a different type. Like, you can be riding that wave. You can get all these knockouts of all these other different guys, but you've never been in the ring with an animal like Crawford. And when you get in there for the first time and you get hit upside your head and you see that you can't do the stuff that you usually do against the guys that you fought, you know, at the lower level, bro.
Joe Rogan had a strong reaction, an emphatic wow, to the unexpected news of Terence Crawford agreeing to face Jaron "Boots" Ennis. The announcement came as a genuine surprise, especially considering that both fighters had previously dismissed the idea of stepping into the ring together. Rogan remarked that with the distinct fighting styles both men bring, watching them clash would be an extraordinary experience for fans. After Jaron Ennis dominated Roy Monvilla, fans everywhere were left wondering who he'd go up against next. Initially, it looked like Virgil Ortiz might be that opponent, especially after Ortiz publicly called Ennis out following his explosive first-round knockout over Villa. But in a twist few saw coming, Terence Bud Crawford, despite previously denying interest in the matchup, has now declared he's ready to take on Boots Ennis. The shift has sent ripples through the boxing community, setting the stage for what could be a high-stakes battle between two of the sport's top-tier talents.
Smoke. I want smoke with Crawford. I want all the smoke. Give me the best shit. I'm in shape. I train. My lifestyle is on the move. Everything is great. So why don't I want the best, man? What y'all talking about, dog? I don't got time to be playing with none of these people with these promotionals and all of these shits. I'm with the old school boxing. I'm following all of the Muhammad Ali act and all that shit. I mean, man, whatever. Y'all want to change shit?
Before diving into Joe Rogan's reaction to the announcement of this high-profile matchup, it's worth taking a look at how other prominent figures in the boxing world responded. One of the most vocal was Jermell Charlo, who had long hoped to secure a bout with Terence Crawford, especially after wrapping up business with Canelo Alvarez. Charlo didn't hold back, expressing frustration over the possibility of Crawford squaring off with Jaron "Boots" Ennis instead. He argued that, based on his own accomplishments in the sport, he's earned the right to face elite opponents like Crawford. In his view, a fight with Crawford would not only be well-deserved, but also essential for cementing his legacy. Charlo made it clear, if anyone should be next in line for Crawford, it should be him, not Ennis.
I think it's attention, but Terence is on another level right now. I mean, he's on another level.
When you say another level, do you mean like marketability-wise, name-wise, or you mean talent-wise?
All the above. All the above.
So he's a notch or two above Jaron.
Exactly. Boots has to get there. He's not there yet. A lot of people don't know who Boots is yet, believe it or not. So the boxing people might, but to be that stellar star, and that's why I'm upset about how his movement has been going, because he could have been stellar already. He's talented enough to do.
Andre Rozier gave a confident prediction when discussing the potential clash between Terence Crawford and Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Without hesitation, Rozier backed Crawford to come out on top, describing him as one of the most skilled fighters of his era. While he acknowledged Ennis as an outstanding young talent, Rozier emphasized that the gap in experience and overall ring IQ still heavily favors Crawford. According to Rozier, Crawford operates on a completely different level, one that Ennis hasn't quite reached yet. He added that Crawford's previous performance, especially his dismantling of a fighter like Canelo, speaks volumes about the caliber he brings whenever he steps into the ring.
That type of fight with Crawford, you know what I'm saying? I would hate for him to get in this fight and look average. Because if you go back and you watch a lot of, and he's a spectacular fighter. Boots is a spectacular fighter. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Boots. I think he's next. But he needs to be tested. He needs to be tested with he needs to be tested with a guy like Hearn.
Tim Bradley shared a more cautious take regarding the potential matchup. He expressed little interest in seeing the fight happen anytime soon, emphasizing the high risk involved in facing someone like Terence Crawford.
According to Bradley, Crawford is a dangerous fighter, capable of ending a bout with a single
decisive punch. While he acknowledged that Jaron "Boots" Ennis is an impressive rising star with tremendous potential, Bradley suggested that Ennis should first test himself against opponents who are closer to his current level. In his view, Ennis needs more experience against top-tier competition before stepping into the ring with a proven champion like Crawford. Only after building that resume, Bradley believes, should Boots consider such a high-stakes showdown.
Tim Bradley talk like that because they know he that. But shit just got started. Think about it. How long was the Bud Crawford era if Bud Crawford didn't start getting respect till 2023 for what he do? So if it's 2025 and we already talking about Boots Ennis, who's 10 years younger, who could possibly turn up this next 10 and make it crazy, that means the average person who don't really understand boxing, never really watch boxing, pay attention to boxing, and not really a boxing fan, they're not going to remember Bud Crawford.
Responding to Tim Bradley's remarks, Greg Hackett offered a different perspective. He noted that in every boxing era, there's always one fighter who rises above the rest to become the defining force. Looking at Terence Crawford's journey, Hackett pointed out that the past 2 years have been instrumental in cementing Crawford's legacy, earning him more respect and recognition than perhaps the rest of his career combined. However, Hackett argued that it's now time for a new star to emerge. He suggested that this could very well be the beginning of Jaron "Boots" Ennis' era. According to him, Ennis has done enough to earn a shot at the best, and denying him that opportunity would be unfair. In Hackett's view, Boots has rightfully positioned himself to face someone of Crawford's caliber.
That would be a great fight. You know, the young hungry lion versus the legend. That would be a hell of a fight. Maybe 160. If it's a vacant title at 160, I think that they can make that happen for sure. I think it just has to make sense for both parties. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think if there's a vacant belt, Crawford's gonna want to be 6th division champion, and then he'll make Ennis move up to 160. I think they could do it at 160.
Danny Garcia, another respected figure in the boxing community, welcomed the potential Crawford versus Ennis bout with enthusiasm and a wide smile. Clearly excited, he described the matchup as the perfect collision of eras, pitting a young, hungry lion against a seasoned legend. To him, it represents the ideal mix of youthful ambition and veteran experience. Garcia emphasized that both fighters are exceptional in their own right, each bringing a distinct skill set to the ring. He believes the outcome would provide clarity on who truly stands at the top. To ensure fairness, he also suggested agreeing on a weight class that suits both men, helping level the playing field. Overall, Garcia threw his full support behind the fight, stating that such a clash is exactly what the sport needs to keep evolving.
It's great in both stands. I'm very powerful in both stands. I hit just as hard with my left, probably even harder with my left than my right, you know, but I think it's...
Most notably, Terence Crawford himself spoke about the potential showdown with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, addressing the excitement surrounding their similar fighting styles. While fans expect a fresh dynamic from their matchup, Crawford expressed strong confidence in his own adaptability. He highlighted his ability to fight effectively from both orthodox and southpaw stances, noting that his choice of stance always depends on the opponent in front of him. Crawford explained that when he steps into the ring with Boots, he'll strategically select the stance that offers the biggest edge, allowing him to dictate the tempo and take control of the fight from start to finish.
Look, Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. Now, obviously, we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very...
Looking ahead, Eddie Hearn also weighed in on the potential Crawford versus Ennis clash, calling it a truly exciting matchup. He described it as a high-level contest between two elite fighters, Boots Ennis, coming off an impressive recent victory, and Terence Crawford, who is in search of a worthy challenge following the biggest win of his career. Hearn suggested that the bout could be made possible at a weight class Crawford is comfortable competing in, helping smooth out negotiations. He also praised both fighters for their explosive and dynamic styles, emphasizing that their showdown would deliver an unforgettable experience for boxing fans around the world.
For Ennis' chances of ever landing that fight with Crawford nearing 40 and Ennis still having a lot of catching up to do to make that a worthy assignment for Crawford. And nobody's been begging for that fight for the last couple years more than me, but I'm also realistic about it.
Additionally, Sean Ziddle expressed strong enthusiasm for this matchup, saying he really wants to see the fight take place soon. He noted that while efforts to arrange this bout have been ongoing for some time, he believes now is the perfect moment for it to finally happen. Ziddle pointed out that both fighters are coming off major victories, which makes the potential clash even more exciting and compelling for fans. He added that watching these two face off would be a real treat for boxing enthusiasts. Moreover, Ziddle believes that Boots Ennis has a solid chance to come out on top when they eventually meet in the ring.
Shout out to Boots. Boots the next legend to come up in this shit.
How does Crawford and Boots play out, Meek?
Crawford and Boots play out? I'm rocking with Boots, of course. I'm from Philly. Crawford, you already know you about to meet this Philly shit. It's all love, but you about to see what this Philly shit about. We real monsters.
Additionally, Meek Mill picked Jaron Boots Ennis, also known as the Philly Monster, as the fighter he believes can defeat Terence Crawford. When breaking down the matchup, Meek pointed out that many might be underestimating Boots due to Crawford's impressive win over Canelo Alvarez. However, he emphasized that there's a significant difference between Ennis and Canelo. Meek noted that Canelo, now past his prime, struggled with Crawford's speed and accuracy. In contrast, Boots is younger, sharper, and highly motivated to prevent Crawford from repeating the same performance against him.
With Boots, so I want to see him fight Jaron Ennis, and hopefully, he don't retire before then, or he say he too washed up and old. Hopefully he get my boy a shot. That's the only person I can see beat him, or that's who I think can beat him.
Alongside Meek Mill, Haven Brady also expressed strong confidence in Boots Ennis' chances of victory. Brady pointed out that Ennis has yet to receive many genuine opportunities to fully demonstrate his skills and potential inside the ring. He described Ennis as a talented and determined fighter who possesses everything needed to overcome Terence Bud. Crawford Brady made it clear that he isn't influenced by critics or public opinion. His belief in Boots' abilities remains unwavering. He also highlighted that this fight would attract significant international attention, drawing fans from across the globe eager to witness such an exciting matchup.
50-50 fight?
I mean, I see it as a great fight.
It's a great fight.
I don't know if it'll be 50-50, 60-40, what it would be, but I see it as a great fight.
When Jilly Doc Kid caught wind of the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis, he responded with enthusiasm. He described the matchup as both stylish and intensely competitive, calling it a thrilling contest for fans to look forward to. While Jilly acknowledged that Boots, coming off a strong recent win, would pose a serious challenge, he ultimately believes Crawford's superior ring control, skill set, and experience will give him the edge to secure the victory.
I play out the super fight Crawford versus Boots.
I went to the Crawford fight
I was there
in Vegas. I'm not gonna hold you. He really, really surprised me. I'm talking about in a good way, like it was next level. Because everybody was talking about how homie was gonna be too big for him, too powerful, Canelo, how he was gonna be too overpower him. And it was none of that. Actually, he wasn't even that. He ain't even really that bigger than him.
He didn't break a sweat, right?
Yeah. That was light work. He took him all the way out of his fight.
Additionally, Mayo weighed in with his prediction, confidently backing Terence Crawford to come out on top. He reminded fans that Crawford has already beaten an opponent who held a clear size advantage over him, making it difficult to see anyone overcoming Crawford now that he himself enjoys a size edge. Mayo boldly stated that Crawford is likely to deliver a punishing performance against Jaron Ennis. He added that those who are curious about how this fight will unfold will finally get their answers once the two step into the ring. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you more thrilling boxing content. Stay tuned for all the latest updates.